Happy Monday. First and foremost, let me say, please be cautious today because I have seen 3 accidents and people are they're driving like nutcases. Now, given I literally, unless I'm on the highway, I always do the speed limit. But country roads have different rules than regular roads, and I respect that as well. If someone is turning left on a country road, you're allowed to go around them. I get that. Okay, so I don't drive like a grandma. I drive safely because I typically have 2 kids in the back of my car. People have just been driving like crazy today. If you're late, you're late. Accept it. Grasp that fact and don't let it happen again. Okay, all right. Just public service warning there. Your challenge for this week is about putting yourself and other people in boxes. And it was funny because I swear, like, for the past 4 or 5 days, I've noticed people saying, you can't be X if you're Y. Like, you can't be pagan if you don't believe in the horned God, okay? You can't be a real spiritual person if you're not vegan. It's like that's like the mom guilt thing. Like, that reminds me of all the people that were like, if you don't use washable diapers, you are a terrible mother. Clearly you've never seen the stuff that comes out of tiny people. It's disgusting. And frankly, I didn't have a washing machine that could handle that, okay? I'm all for saving the world, but I'm willing to make sacrifices for the rest of my life to have had the opportunity to use disposable diapers. Or maybe just, if somebody would have given me a nicer washing machine, I would have given it the old try. But we can't go around saying you're not spiritual if you drink. You're not spiritual if you smoke. You're not spiritual if you're cursed. You're not awesome spiritual unless you're my kind of spiritual. If you're not X, can't be Y. Well, I think that's crap. But you hear it all the time, especially in certain spiritual circles. And for me, I'm like, that's not for me. But enjoy being you. It's not my job to judge. But even if I do judge, it's not my job to tell people that they're wrong unless they're hurting somebody else or they're taking advantage of someone. Obviously that sort of thing. Makes sense? So I want you to think through of all the times in your life that someone said, if you're not X, can't be Y. So if you're not obedient to your husband, then you're not a good wife. If you are not spanking your kids, you can't be a good mom. If you are not doing new moon and full moon rituals, you are clearly not a witch. I'm sure that you've heard a ton. And as it's Pride Month, I am not gay, but I am a huge ally and a staunch supporter of everyone expressing themselves freely, especially when it comes to their sexuality, because people don't realize it's far more acceptable now than it was 5 years ago, than it was 10 years ago, than it was before we were born, and how far we've come as far as acceptance goes within our society. And I wish that would translate over to more things, but I think we're getting there. So for people that say, well, you can't be bisexual if you date just girls because then you're just a lesbian. Like, dude, maybe you can't say that about people. You can't be asexual if you date. What? So there are things that people say that need to be shoved back into their mouths or up their butt where it came from. Your challenge this week is to figure out what people have been telling you throughout your life and what you've been telling yourself. And heaven forbid, if you've been telling other people, stop telling other people stuff. Unless somebody is hurting somebody, unless somebody's taking advantage of somebody, unless somebody's really screwing something up, lighting things on fire, causing public damage. Don't tell people what to do. They're never going to listen to you anyway. okay? I love you guys. It's an interesting challenge. I think it's a very important one. If you are gay, shout it out. Give hope to the next generation. If you are LGBT, any of that stuff, shout it out. You may not be in a place where you feel comfortable to do so, but please voice your support for that community, because it means a lot to somebody. You may not even know until someone says, I'm really glad to hear that you support me. I'm not out publicly. I've had people message me different stuff, and it is shameful that they don't feel safe in their own environment, with their own family, in their own homes, in their own churches. So let's be better supporters. Let's speak out for things that are right. Let's speak out about things that are wrong. But let's not tell people how to live their lives. That kind of goes against everything we're trying to do, right? All right, I love you. Have a good week. Bye.